the ground. This is an absolute monster play, but a monster call by Matt LaFleur, who knew points were going to be important.
Yes, fourth down going to be the theme of the day. Packers up 10-0. Now it's 17-7. Jamison Williams. On any given play, Bart, he's a touchdown waiting to happen.
Tell you what, bring your arms with you. I'm so tired of seeing tackling in football like this, but I'm happy because I'm a Lions fan.
Lions make it 17-14. We got ourselves a thriller. Third quarter, same score. Packers on a second down. Christian Watson is down there somewhere.
Christian Watson, this is an out and up against Amik Robertson. Look at this ball. This is a moon ball. A la Russell Wilson, and down to one of the fastest players at the position. A huge touchdown for the Green Bay Packers, and Jordan Love was on fire.
Packers in front the whole day, playing from behind with the Lions. Midway through the third, play action. Jared Goff's got all day, and then Danny's got Isaac Tesla in the end zone.
He did not have Amon-Ra St. Brown, got hurt early in this game, so they had to make do with some different guys at receiver.
But every time the Lions do anything, Green Bay has an answer.
Wicks.
There's Wicks again. What a game for Dontavian Wicks. So it's 31-20 when it just stays that way. Now, RC, huge moment. 4th and 3 for the Lions. Down 10. Early fourth quarter. Field goal makes it a one-score game.
Yeah, but you expect Dan Campbell to go for this. This is the right call. A low crosser to Jamison Williams, who's having a huge game. Ball hits him right in the chest, and he drops it.
Ball's a little bit behind. Come on, Jared. We need
You got to
better
catch the ball.
Fascinating
83
decision.
million.
0 for 2 on fourth downs on the day for the Lions. And then Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons was an absolute stud the entire day. Makes history with this sack. Finishes on Jared Goff. Absolutely crushes him and keeps him from a position of being able to go for it.
He had 2.5 sacks on the day. And then the Packers going the other way with a chance to ice the game. I still can't believe they went for it on this 4th and 3. And what a play. What a game for Dontavian Wicks. Jordan Love, 4 touchdowns, tying Brett Favre's record for the most in Packers history on a Thanksgiving. Packers hold on and win it 31-24. Dan Graziano, you're the one who made this point earlier. Look how even this game was in every way. Almost every number is practically completely identical except the one at the bottom.
That's exactly, and that made the difference. Look at Packers 3 for 3 on fourth down. The first 2 were touchdowns. And the last one was the one we just showed that iced the game. They didn't have to punt the ball back to Detroit. Look, you give the ball back to the Lions there. Jamison Williams, if he catches it, can score from anywhere on the field. Jahmyr Gibbs, same thing. So, it was important. That was a game-winning call and a game-winning play.
I have to ask my 2 players here. On behalf, I think, of all the fans watching the game. First and foremost, Dan Campbell could coach my team every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He's one of my favorite coaches of the league. He is great. But 2 decisions that he makes there. You said in the highlight you agreed with the decision not to kick the field goal on that at the 21-yard line and make it a one-score game. RC agreed with it. Bart, did you?
No. I mean, at some point you have to take the points. Now I understand that the play he was open, but you take the points, you make it a one-score game, and to me that's a lack of belief in your defense. Because if you got a defense team, you get the points. No, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Listen, because he's 0 for 7 on fourth down in his last 2 or 3
games. Yes,
his last 2 games.
But it's not like he just started going for it on fourth down.
But it's 4th and 3.
But you're just going for it on every fourth down. I mean, but
I feel like he doesn't go for it on every fourth down. No. But you're playing against a team that's being extremely aggressive.
Because you don't believe in who.
So early on, think about this. Early on in the first half, you have the 2 run plays, right? That they're stopped in the backfield by Michael Parsons and Evan Williams, right? They finish, or McDuffie, they finish. And then now in this situation, on 4th and 3, when you've been aggressive your entire tenure as a coach, you won 3 games the first year, and you were exactly the same way. You were this aggressive at all times. You don't change in that moment, because if you watch that play, if Jamon Williams catch that, he is still running right now in downtown Detroit, probably hanging out with Cade Cunningham in the Pistons.
If it was a fifth, we all be drunk, though, too.
But I mean, there's 10.5 minutes left in the game. If there's 5 minutes left in the game, wait, no, that's not what you're missing. If there's 5 minutes left in the game and you think you're only going to get the ball one more time, sure, you cut it to 1 score. But at 10.5 minutes, you're not out of possessions
yet.
I'm
glad you said that, because they did only get the ball one more time. And the reason for that is it took them 6 minutes to run their next drive, which results in the field goal. We showed you the Micah Parsons sack. That winds up holding them to the field goal in that situation. And Bart, the amount of time they're letting run off the play clock on every snap. They're huddling. They're snapping the ball with 3 seconds, 4 seconds left. In a 2-score game, I found myself rooting for the Lions for no reason, and I'm screaming at the television, why are they taking so much time?
Well, I think they knew that they were going to get an opportunity. They still had an opportunity to stop them with the 2-minute warning with all their timeouts. They knew it was going to come down to one possession, so those seconds on the clock really didn't matter. What was important was make sure you get the right play, make sure you have the right side adjustments. If Green Bay brought you something defensively that you weren't prepared for, a lot of times you go no huddle, a lot of times you can't really be complicated in your protections, and you mess around and get an easy sack, game over, especially with Michael Parsons, Rashawn Gary, those guys hunting. So I didn't have any problem with that. I want to go back to the fact that you take the points, and if you don't take the points, it's because you don't believe in your defense.
But how can you believe in them? You're watching the game. You are watching the game, and you are watching Matt LaFleur at every moment know exactly what's coming, have the exact correct man beater dialed up, and it's working time after time after time. Hey, listen, like Emmett said that one time, a leopard can't change his stripes. It can't.
I understand what both of you were saying. I would have kicked the field goal, but that's neither here nor there. I wouldn't have believed in my defense if I were them yesterday either. Jordan Love threw 4 touchdowns in the game.
They're very banged up on that side of the ball.
Am I the only one at the table who was stunned by how much time they were taking between plays on that last drive? I mean, there's a veteran offense.
Right, here's what you also have to remember. It's a veteran offense without its 2 true safety blankets in Sam Laporta and more importantly, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And so sometimes understanding the processes and getting people in the right position in those situations is a little bit different, especially for Jared Goff, who when things breaks down, he understands that the telepathy he has between himself and number 14 is just different. You couldn't get into those things yesterday, and dialing up the right play was what they needed to do more so than anything else. And the other thing is this, just make a stop. Right? You have them on 4th and 3. If they make that stop, you have that ball near midfield with an opportunity to score with 2 minutes left. That's on this defense. They have to make a play.
LaFleur had their number. They had every man beater possible. They got to play that better, have different answers for it. But I still believe why not go for it instead of kicking the field goal? Right? If you believe in it, go for it, because it's easier to kick a field goal late, especially indoors, than it is to get a touchdown. So the philosophy doesn't match.
And we have all morning long to talk about these games. But at the end of the day, to say something on the other side of it. Jordan Love was brilliant, Micah Parsons was brilliant, and the Packers look legit.
Why can't they look like this every week?
Right.
Like
they don't play the Lions every week.
They can be the best team in the league. And sometimes LaFleur goes in with a conservative game plan. I think because maybe he thinks it's a lesser opponent, and then he pulls out all the stops in Detroit on Thanksgiving. The Packers could be that good every single week.
Well, to me, Jordan Love's aggression that we saw starting with the New York Giants and into this week was big, but it was also Michael Parsons, right? We've talked about Jerry Jones finding a way to correct the mistake of trading Michael Parsons away, but what we saw from him yesterday was absolute dominance, and the way Jeff Hafley has utilized him, we see him make so many plays lined up as a rush end. We forget he's an off-ball backer, and so now when you see him on 3rd down and the way that he's utilized, standing right behind the nose tackle and moving around as some sort of chess piece, has been huge for how this team has progressed the pass rush.
We have a tape on that a little bit later in the show. We have so much to get to today. Rolling on. We'll get to the Kansas City side of the game.